The religion of the Aztec civilization, which grew in ancient Mesoamerica, has developed an infamous reputation for bloodthirsty human sacrifice, with brilliant tales of the beating heart being ripped from the still conscious victim, skinning and dismemberment. All of these things did happen, but it is necessary to remember that for the Aztecs, the act of sacrifice, of which human sacrifice, was only a strictly ritualized process which gave the highest possible honor to the gods and was regarded as a necessity to ensure mankind's continued prosperity. The Aztecs were not the first civilization in Mesoamerica to practice human sacrifice, as probably it was the Olmec civilization. As a matter of fact, it is thought that hundreds, perhaps even thousands of victims were sacrificed each year at the great Aztec religious sites, and it cannot be denied that also have been a useful secondary effect of intimidation on visiting ambassadors and the population in general.
Although it's in ruins now, the Templo Mayor, or as the Aztecs called it in their native Nahuatl tongue, Hueteocalli, meaning Great Temple, was a religious place of sacrifice. This was a place of great importance to the Aztecs as they carried out rituals and ceremonies to appease the gods with blood and human hearts. The Templo Mayor was the focal point of the Aztec religion, as well as the center of the Aztec world. The pyramid-like temple was the tallest structure in Tenochtitlan, reaching 180 feet, displaying the temple's religious and political power along with the people who stood atop it, like rulers or shaman. The twin shrines were dedicated to two gods. The south shrine, to the right, for Huitzilopochtli, the god of war, and to the left, the north shrine of Tlaloc, the god of rain. By placing one shrine for each of the two gods at the summit showcases the great importance the two gods had for the Aztec people. Considering their gods of war and rain also gives us insight to the Aztecs' values, needs, and fears. They value the rain because it brings water for crops and for their people as well as danger like floods. And they value war because it gives them the necessary sacrifices to quench their god's bloodthirst. Tlaloc was also associated with mountains, and it is probable that the Templo Mayor was conceived as a literal architectural mountain in homage to the rain god, a man-made imitation of Tonacatepetl, Tlaloc's mountain of sustenance. Additionally, considering the Mesoamerican passion for duality, it is representative of Coatepetl, the sacred serpent mountain, where Huitzilopochtli vanquished the other gods. Tlaloc's shrine was painted with blue stripes representing water and marked the summer solstice along with the wet season. Huitzilopochtli's south side shrine was painted with red markings for blood, symbolizing the time for warfare along with the winter solstice and the dry season. The steps leading the way to the shrines held wooden figurines of the gods painted blue for Tlaloc's shrine and red for Huitzilopochtli. Both flights carried sculptures of snake heads. Those on Tlaloc's side had blinkers, while those on Huitzilopochtli's were adorned with feathers. Usually, the sacrifices were performed by a priest over a stone. Armed with an obsidian knife, the priest would rip out the sacrifice's heart as well as decapitate and dismember them. Then, the sacrifice's body was tossed down the steps of a temple onto a massive round stone, engraved with the story of the gods and the Aztecs' reasons for why and how they sacrifice.
Located in the center of the Mexica capital city of Tenochtitlan is the Templo Mayor. Tenochtitlan is divided into 4 quadrants, with the Templo Mayor at the center. This design reflects the Mexica cosmos, which was believed to be composed of 4 parts surrounding the navel of the universe, or the axis mundi. The Templo Mayor has 2 temples at the top. On one side is the temple of Huitzilopochtli, and the other side is the Tlaloc temple. The side of Huitzilopochtli symbolizes Coatepec, the snake mountain that the Mexica patron deity of war and sun was birthed on. Huitzilopochtli's mother, Coatlicue, or Snake Skirt, became pregnant one day from a feather that entered her skirt. Her daughter, Coyoshauki, or Bells Her Cheeks, became angry when she heard that her mother was pregnant and rallied with her 400 brothers, and they attacked their mother. While attacking their mother, Huitzilopochtli was born fully clothed and armed to defend his mother on the mountain called Cotepec, or Snake Mountain. Huitzilopochtli defeated his sister, then beheaded her and threw her body down the mountain, and her body fell apart as she landed. At the steps of the Huitzilopochtli temple is a monolithic stone depicting Coyolxauhqui's defeated, dismembered body. This temple was used during the monthly ritual festival of Pankatzilitski, or Raising of the Banners, which was devoted to the reenactment of this story. War captives would be killed at the top of the Huitzilopochtli side of the temple and thrown down the stairs, which represent the Snake Mountain, and land on the Coyolxauhqui monolith. The stone was a stark warning to the enemies of the Aztecs, who may have seen themselves as the victorious warrior Huitzilopochtli, but their fate would be similar to Coyolxauhqui's. The stone is 10.5 feet in diameter, and during the Mexica Empire, the Coyolxauhqui monolith would have been painted, and her dismembered parts would have been very clear from a distance. The background of the stone would have been painted red, symbolizing a pool of her blood.
Known as one of the bloodiest civilizations to mankind, the Aztecs have become synonymous with human sacrifice. Far from just a gory display of power, every fatal or non-fatal sacrifice that the Aztecs committed was a symbolic repayment to the gods. Daily bloodletting and the offering of still-beating hearts was given as food to the spirit of Cipactli, and the occasional ritualistic cannibalism was viewed as a high honor for noblemen to commune with the gods. The Aztecs put the same reverence and symbolism behind their art. From the stone of Coyolxauhqui that celebrates the death of the deity that tried to kill the chief deity Huitzilopochtli and used to recreate her death after every sacrifice, to the colorful Tecpoctli knife used to remove still-beating hearts in ceremonial bloodletting. The Aztecs crafted a long-lasting empire of blood, but the art they left behind shows that it was more than just meaningless violence to them.